once. Let's say hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. It's Rita. It's Rita and Teddy Bear from Miss Rita to the rescue here for today's Cricut Chat. And we are finally making this beautiful wreath by Rob and Bob today. And I have a couple of variations of this wreath. But it's a really easy, it looks overwhelming, as does a couple of the wreaths that are in our favorite image set called The Best of Rob and Bob, but I'm going to walk you right through it on how to put it together and how to come up with some ideas for different color variations. Also, I'm going to show you what I do to make it thick, because if you do this with paper only, it could have a tendency to not be, it could get a little wilty looking, right? So I'm going to show you what I've done. Okay. Oh, yay. Happy back to school, Shirley's granddaughter. Okay, so we're making, finally, I know a lot of people cut this out for Saturday night. We were going to do it for date night, but my dog had other plans, so we are doing it today. And but just before we get started, I wanted to show you, someone asked me about this snowball, larger circle. You know, yesterday we did those snowball circles, and this one is done on the 3.5-inch circle. And I had said it was about this big, and this is it. This is how big it ends up being. Obviously, you could make it even larger if you wanted to make it larger, but this was the 3.5-inch circle, which to me is like, that's, unless you're going to make them like, Shirley, hi Shirley, unless you're going to make it like sort of a hanger from, like, I don't know, it's too big for a Christmas tree, but it could certainly be something that you could make and hang in a little girl's room, or put on your windows, or not windows, on your like ceiling fans and stuff like that. You could do that. But so 3.5-inch, actually, the larger it goes, the easier it is to put together. And based on feedback yesterday, yes, Benji is much better, Penny. Thank you for asking. So, but based on feedback, a lot of people think these look really intricate to make, and they just aren't, right? So if you didn't see yesterday's video, I just love this little project. Reminds me of when I was a kid and we used Christmas cards to make this sort of thing, but now we can do it on the Cricut, and it's super easy and fun, and it's a great little project for doing with your littles, you know, your little guys, whoever they may be. So let's get back to this project. So this project is called Warm Winter Mistletoe. Yes. Warm Winter Wishes, or Warm Wishes, it has a beautiful deer silhouette, and then in the background has these Christmas trees or pine trees. And then as you get closer, it gets a little more detailed, and I used white. It's not at all a lot of, you mean the ball, Deborah? The ball, it looks like it's a lot of work. It's just not. Once you get the hang of it, you'll be making a bunch, I think. I know I did. Anyway, so as this gets closer, that's the beauty of Cricut, isn't it? It's so wonderful. But as this gets closer, you can see I used some glitter paper, and here they're on the little berries, and here's white. Now, I like a lot of you buy my glitter cardstock from Cricut, and some of you have made comments that they've been out of stock on some Cricut. And let me tell you, I totally get you, because when I was doing this, I was using up all my white glitter cardstock, and I was starting to feel like, oh my God, how am I going to make it through Christmas with only like 4 sheets of white glitter cardstock? So I'm going to show you what I did to make this take up less sheets, as well as the berries. So let's start with, where did this come from? And we got this from, what did the dogs have? Come on, you guys. What are you doing? Leave it alone. These guys are short. I have to make them put everything up high, but they still get at things. But anyway, all right, so we're going to go to images, and we are going to do image sets. Heidi is it Heidi? Oh, I'm sorry. Hidez is asking, can the Cricut do that wreath in a bigger size? It can be done in a bigger size, but you are going to need to cut it if you wanted to make it even bigger. So this one's about 11.5 inches, which is the maximum that's allowable on a regular Cricut. Obviously, this is not Joy compatible, although elements of it are, including these beautiful pieces here and this, and the little berries are Joy compatible, but the bigger pieces are not. So, unless you got into a very elaborate sort of cut and then put together one, okay? So let's see. We're going to go to image sets, and we're going to this one. It's called The Best of Rob and Bob. So when I go to image sets, I type in the word or the name Rob, and it pulls up my favorites, The Best of Rob and Bob. And there are also Christmas ones here. This Very Merry Christmas, if you're still looking for Christmas cards to do, this has a lot of them here. And also there's Halloween, if you're still looking at Halloween, but this Christmas is here, and a number of other different things. But this is our favorite, The Best of Rob and Bob. And if you scroll down, in addition to a lot of great cards that we do, a lot of, you'll scroll down and you can find 3 wreaths. You can find this one, the Merry Christmas wreath, which is very, very similar to the one we're doing today. And I might just do this one as well because I love the colors. And then there is the one that we're going to do right over here, the Winter Wonderland wreath, it's called. And then the third one is, where is it? There's a third one. Oh, this one here. These 3 are very similar. So there's the love one that we can do for Valentine's Day. But they all kind of basically the same. Let's pull this in so it can show you. I didn't change the, hi Bren. I didn't change the size all that much because when it comes in at 11.4, and the maximum you can cut without doing a little bit of aerobic tricks is 11.5. Okay, so if you wanted to make this even bigger, to answer your question, what you would need to do is actually cut this entire thing in half, and then you'd be able to make it about twice the size. I don't want to do that just yet because I don't want to scare off the newbies, but it is something we could try to do, I think, after the first of the year, on how to make an even bigger paper project with the Cricut, because it is possible and I can do it, but I just, want to make sure. So I hope that Hades helps you, okay? Oh, beautiful, Sarah. That's a great idea. So Sarah is saying to cut this on the Joy, she makes it smaller. I hadn't thought of that she makes it as an ornament for her Christmas tree and cuts it on the Joy, and she probably just takes the whole thing and makes it smaller like this, and then it's able to be cut, right? So let's get into some of the details about this. So I'm going to ungroup this over here, and I want to show you a few things. So these two layers are something special that I want to talk about, okay? And this is just the little sash, right? But for the most part, this wreath ends up being a bunch of really big pieces. So this is the backmost piece, and it's sort of a stabilizer piece. And then comes your Christmas trees or your pine evergreen trees or whatever you want to call it. Then comes your deer, and then over the deer come these two they look kind of like palm fronds, but I think they're supposed to be like pine wreaths, right? This is really an easy cutout. What I would suggest is that you duplicate the dark one, you duplicate it, or you just cut it out with Kraft Board. I did it both ways, and this is Kraft Board, okay? Kraft Board, we've talked about in the past. It comes in white, black, and craft color, which is a brown, and it's available at 12 by 12 packs like this from Cricut, and it's kind of like poster board, but it's not shiny, and it's nice and thick, and it's going to give your the backing of your wreath a little bit of stabilization. And so what I would suggest is what I did was I duplicated this wreath, the back one like this. I just hit duplicate, and I changed the color to white because I wanted it to cut separately and to be reminded that that is going to be the Kraft Board piece. The rest of these pieces are just straight cuts on a 12 by 12 inch on a 12 by 12 inch mat. Not much to talk about. Let's talk about, this is just the sash. Let's talk about these two pieces a little bit. So these come in, and I think it's just for placement, so you can understand that it's where they're supposed to go when you put them together. Unfortunately, it uses up a lot of space, and it was using up a lot of because I did these in glitter and these also in glitter. And if you look at it, I mean, yeah, it tells you where the placement is, but it's not going to be very effective in terms of saving your, I'm all about being frugal, right? And saving my resources so that I can have more, right? And so what I have done with these two things is I have done contour and contoured out all of the rest of them and just duplicating, right? So what I'm going to do is go down here to contour, and you notice they come up. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to click on 4 out of those 5, or you could use show or hide all contours. If you do hide all contours, all but one will show up. So you can do it either way. And now we have just this single one, and we're just going to duplicate it, make 5 of them total, and then let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't need this extra one. So now we have it. So when it goes onto our page, it's going to conserve a lot more. We're going to do the same thing here. We'll go down to contour. Remember, contour is down here on the bottom right hand side of the layers. So we go to contour, and we're going to just hide all contours. That will just give us 1. Before we do that, we have to count how many we need. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. So, and these are all the same image. So this is easy to do, and not worry, do I have the wrong thing? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so when we go to make it, I just want to show you those additions. So this one here, that's my Kraft Board piece, okay? And then here are my, I want to save my, my glitter cardstock because it's out of stock at Cricut. So I can use about a half a sheet of glitter, a white glitter cardstock, and I can save, you know, a good portion of it. If I didn't do this, it would take up the entire 12 by 12 sheet. And the same thing holds true for these berries. It would have taken up the entire 12 by 12 sheet of glitter cardstock. And now it's only taking up 4 inches of it. And that's all there is to it as far as, you know, cutting it out. When you're cutting it out, you're just going to choose Kraft Board for this one. This is going to be your backing. The rest you cut out with whatever paper you want. Yeah, I love the contour feature. Except when you can't contour and then you get like, what do I do? Oh my gosh, Annette, the white glitter cardstock has been ridiculously out of stock at Cricut. And we have a couple of projects that I like to use white glitter cardstock on. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. So anyway, so cut this all out. It's, you know, it's just a bunch of cutouts. It's not something I need to show you, but the assembly is something that needs. What happened to Aledra? Did Aledra get some good news? She got some good news. What did you? Aledra. Yay! Aledra! That's awesome. Aledra's been cancer-free for 4 years this month. Oh, wonderful. She says she's so grateful to God. Aledra, I'm so happy for you, hon. Awesome. 9 years, Mary. Wow. Okay, so the question that's come up is, does the Explorer cut Kraft Board? It does, Lori. It does cut Kraft Board. It is a little bit thicker, and what I would suggest is if you have a deep cut blade, which is the black one. Let me show you. This is a black deep cut. And if you have this one, probably good to substitute your regular housing, your regular blade and housing for the deep cut blade, and definitely set it to Kraft Board. And if you wanted to, if you really weren't getting through, and I don't know if you guys remember, but I usually cut on a maker, and I will tell you that it is better to have the maker for this kind of material, but it is doable on the Explorer Air 2, which I just found out with my new Explorer Air 2. So anyway, so let's put this thing together, assuming you cut it all out and you're all ready to put it together. And so let us go down here, and I actually cut out, because I'm crazy, I cut out this first one, and then I cut out 3 more. I did another colored one, like all the different, like sort of frozen colors. I did one in off-white or cream with gold and silver pieces. I think that's the one we'll probably put together. And then I also did one in just white with the white glitter cardstock and some silver. Okay, so we'll put these aside and let's do the off-white one just because, well, I think it's going to look special. So anyway, so I cut this out with my berries and my little pine fronds, and also the sash in glitter cardstock. And then let's go through this. So did I cut out the Kraft Board for this one? I did not. So I was telling you that I cut out the Kraft Board, but I can cut out another one, or I can use the one that I cut out for this. Hold on, let me get it. Here it is. Okay, so we use this one. All right, so there's my Kraft Board. It's going to give it a little bit of a little bit of stability, a little bit more stability, right? So when you have everything cut out, first thing I would do is I would just take out these pieces, which are, hold on, okay. So there are 3 pieces for the sash, and then take out all of your little palm fronds and berries, because those are things that have to be placed or put together with glue. The rest of this is put together with our friend adhesive foam dots. I will definitely show you how they turn out. So anyway, this is the order that they go in. Whoops. So here is our Kraft Board piece. And then, let me get the other Kraft Board piece. This one here is going to go over it. It's the same cutout, so you just have to line it up, and you will need, I lied. I said that you won't need your glue for this part, but you will. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could cut off of these pieces in the middle here, because I can tell you that, Diane. Let me do that separately, okay, Diane, because there's a list, okay? So anyway, if you wanted to with your craft board, you can sort of trim it, which I did actually on this one, and you could just trim it up, because I'm just looking for the stability of the actual craft board. I actually want the outside edges to be sort of frilly and loose, you know, because they're pine wreaths, pine things. And you could even cut off the middle ones if you want. And you don't have to worry about making it look perfect, because it's going to be in the back. The other reason I like to do craft board for this, in addition to it being a little more stable to hang, is you can sign it. And I want to just mention, you might think that that's crazy, but I've been crafting, well, forever I've been crafting, but I've been crafting with a Cricut for 8 years, 8 years, I think. And I am amazed at how much I learn each year, how much I get better at it each year. So one of the things that I did from the start, and this goes back to my old cross-stitching days, is that I sign, I put on the back my name and the year that I finished. Okay, Dorothy, have a good day. And when I take them out of the box, like the Christmas decorations box, I love to see how I've progressed over the years. And then just as a sort of an aside, my mom, she's like me. She saves everything. And one year I made something called a happy birthday bear in cross stitch. And it was just like this adorable bear holding a cake and balloons. I'll have to show it to you guys sometime. Anyway, so this was because I think I was in college and had no money. So I made this happy birthday balloon bear with, it just had a mat on it. And so we got into this habit with my family of signing it and giving it to the next person on our list of birthdays. And so there was 5 of us. So it made the rounds over the year to 5 different people, and they kept it for so long. And then so to sort of signify that honor, or that, you know, the round, everybody wrote on the back. And they wrote a little thing about what they'd experienced that year or something. And it is such a wonderful monument to my young family, you know. And so I would definitely recommend something like that. Okay, so here I've put the craft board, and you see it's a lot more stable onto the back piece. And then so the next up piece is going to be this one that has the trees. Now, we are using these pop dots, but what I will mention is that because we have a lot of space to cover, I want to show you a little trick. If you've been with me a while, you probably know this one. But as I take out these pop dots, which they're just foam with adhesive on either side. But as I take out these pop dots, you notice that sort of the leftover here. And again, not to be wasteful, because I am New England. I am from New England. I will take and cut these into strips like this. And this is great for something like what we're doing, which is a large background. So for the next level or the next layer, we can take these pieces of leftovers. See how we're reusing or using up what we have? So we're going to just take those pieces and put them here along the edge. Now, if you don't have the pop dots and you just have like this stuff, this tape, like in a square, this is perfect for that too, but I don't. And I have these things that are left over, so, or this sort of skeleton of the pop dots that are left over, and so I do it like this. Oh, no leftover. Well, that's even better, because you probably get more foam dots out of a piece that is square, right? But these ones here, and by the way, you can pick these up just about anywhere. These ones here are from Michael's, because I think because of Studio G, I think that's Michael's. Anyway, and these were like 100 dots. Don't pay a lot for them, because there's a lot of I'm sure there are some fancy name ones that cost more, but there really isn't a huge difference in them. They're just simply pieces of foam that have sticky on either side, right? So, okay, I'm just going to take off the backing of this. Boop, boop. And I think I need a couple of dots on the top, because I want for it to lay on top of and give some depth to my wreath, so it doesn't look like this flat wreath. And so pop dots are really fun to use. Okay, so here's our first one, and I've really done it up with the pop dots, and I've taken off all of those adhesive. So I'm just going to take this one and line it up like this and press a little bit. You see how it's giving it depth? As we go more and more, it's going to give it more and more depth. So next up is our deer, also going to be pop dotted. And since I don't have any more of that stuff, do not put pop dots on the deer itself, okay? Because it's going to be sort of free form, and it's okay. It's going to lean up against that. So if it's okay if it doesn't like stand up at attention. Just don't use pop dots, okay, for that, because then it would have a sticky and is likely to rip when you go to put it away and stuff, or stick to other things. Not so good. So here we are putting all our little pop dots. I kind of like the other pieces. We're just putting it all around, and just enough. You don't have to load it up, but just every inch or 2 inches, just so that that depth is the same all around. Yeah, it sure could, Diana. It sure could. All right, so here's, Diana's saying this could be left up all year round until we get to the Valentine's one. That would be a good idea. And in fact, maybe we should have done this for January instead of December, but and we should have done the Merry Christmas one. I'm going to do the Merry Christmas one anyway. All right, so see what I mean? Now, I would not put pop dots here, but if you felt like you really needed to, then you could. It's up to you. Remember, there are no rules in crafting. That's why I like it so much. Okay, next come these two layers, and they sort of go, they're sort of juxtapose. This is the right side, and I know that because this is the side that has the texture, and these are a little bit smaller, so we may actually need to, well, no, I don't think we do. So we're going to just put the pop dots, and we don't want to be able to see them when someone's looking straight at the wreath. So I'm going to put it right here on this part where it's thickest on the wreath. And let's see. Just keep going around. Isn't this easy? So easy. You can do this. It only looks daunting, and you can really play around. Colors. I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll do the whole thing in shimmer paper. I think that would have been fun. And just change it up a little bit. And it's a perfect white and cream might look good too. Excellent. Yeah. So again, you guys, there's no rules in this stuff. I mean, they give you colors as a guidance, but I was also thinking of doing it in like an ombre paper that I had like this winter ombre kind of a look, so that it was all different kind of colors. Might do that still. I'm going to have to send this off to my mother as well. Where are all my girlfriends that I give away things to? I have to make sure that I get them some of these things. Okay. So there, isn't this beautiful? And look at the depth we're getting. And then we're going to do the same thing for this one on the other side. And what we're going to do is sort of like overlay it so that we are putting the pieces, not straight on the exact same, if that makes sense. And let's get our pop dots here. Again, you don't have to overdo it with this. It's not like somebody's going to be picking it apart. And so it's just kind of just a little enough to sort of keep it stabilized. And I just like to make sure all over is the same depth. And this theory of doing it like this with depth is also one that you could take with you and make shadow boxes from. This is essentially a shadow box project without the box and without the light, which you could always do the lights, of course. So if you have been wanting to do a shadow box and you're just kind of like, how do I do it? This is a good primer on how to do the shadow box. And we will do a shadow box after the first of the year I'm hoping, I heard from the folks at Cricut that some new images are coming. They're always adding images, but two new things that I wanted to add. One is Christmas and winter holiday vertical signs, like the ones we did for Halloween and Thanksgiving. Those are coming, which I'm so excited about because you can make them on the Joy, and they come out so well. And what else is coming? Of course, the 2021 calendar is coming. So yay, calendar, and yay, 2021. So yeah, all right. So here we go. We've done all of these. A nativity would be a good idea. And you could swap this up, of course. Now, the only thing that's left to do is the embellishments, basically, the embellies. And so we've got two kinds. We have these little fronds that you are going to need to use glue, I think, for these, but not a whole lot. I just put it down sort of the spine of the piece right there, okay? And just place it. I have a friend who used to make wreaths all the time, and they always said work in threes with little embellishments. So I think for one of these, I made actually more of these pieces of berries. I think I made more, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. That's up to you. I think I did. I made one extra. So there you go. So we're going to glue those in place. And then as far as the sash goes, this is the way that I cut it. It's glitter cardstock for the back, and then this goes over. So then you can see Warm Wishes comes through with the glitter. And then I also cut this part in the glitter so that it would give it that extra oomph of glitter. That's a wonderful, Charity. You just take a tree from your backyard. Not all of us are as fortunate as that. Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have a backyard full of trees that you just cut down for Christmas? That's lovely. Or cut down for wreaths. Used to go and buy all of those like boxwood and holly and pine boughs and at this wonderful little like farmer's market farm yard up in Newbury, Massachusetts, called Tender Crop Farm. And boy, was that a lot of fun when I lived up there. It was a lot of fun. So here I am putting my glue, and we're just going to have to make sure when you're putting this down that you're getting the glue inside of the letters like this, right? Oopsie. All right, I don't know who's coming by, but all right. So we're putting the glue inside the letters. Remember, with glitter, you do need a little more glue, but still no reason to go crazy with the glue either. Glitter does need a little extra glue. Okay. So anyway, someone's asking about the glue that I use. I use 2 different kinds of glue. And this one here actually is the one that I'm using right now. It's called Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. It's the most economical because it comes in a pack like this, and this bear is filled up with refill glue, and I actually just refilled my my regular one. It has a great application. It's available at Amazon. And it's great if you're from Canada because you're able to get it all year long. And that's one of the things with the other glue that I use. And I'll show you that one. It's called Art Glitter Glue. This is Art Glitter Glue. Also was my original love, but you cannot buy it during, or it does not ship during the winter months because apparently it does not freeze well. So they have to be very careful, but it's great and also has a really good precision tip. So you've got 2 different kinds that you can try. I have a link in the description of the video so where you can buy this for Create for Less. And then this I got at Amazon, and I'm sure they're both available on Etsy as well. So there's that. Okay, and then just to finish up, I'm going to quickly put my my little fronds there. This is an easy project, and again, not something that requires a ton of glue. Just a little, enough to, let me just move in the camera, just enough to hold these pieces together. I'm going to actually take the berries off first. And again, I'm just putting the glue here. Hey, Shirley, welcome back. I'm just putting it on the middle piece and letting the other pieces, you don't want it to be too flat. That's the thing about paper wreaths, is you don't want them to be flat like paper. You want to add some dimension. There was another wreath from Anna Griffin that was like a snowflake wreath, and when I first looked at it, I was like, oh my God, that's so flat. Like, why would I want to do that? And then I thought, Pop Dog dots. You know, I had forgotten about the pop dots. So that's another one that if you happen to come across, it's really pretty, but it was like really flat. Okay, and so here are little pieces of berries. And again, you're going to do, you know, a better job whether you pick out all glitter or just white. I did it in white as well. And then these colors I chose from like the Frozen Disney movie, because I thought, oh, these are kind of fun and not all white. And there's like a purple in there and a green and a blue, a couple of blues. So, all right, so here we are. Almost done. Tuck in our little berries. Oops. Don't work with the glue above your project or you'll get it on there. Okay, so we're almost done. And then we just have our sash and we have to put it on here. Oh, do not avoid it. Now, I think you could also use pop dots for this one. So why don't we? I'm just going to put it on this part here. So I'm going to just make sure I put the pop dots on the ends. Yeah, you know, sometimes when you're looking at a project, you know, you just like, oh, I could never do that, or I don't have that material. But the thing is, it's your creative, you know, work. You can change up the material. You can change up the colors. You can sort of dissect it and realize this piece wasn't, I don't really like this piece, or I need to add, just like we did here. We added a backing. So here we go. There is our warm wishes. And that is it, everyone. Isn't it great? Look at the depth. Now, obviously, you're not going to be looking at it from this end, but just so you can see how I put those pop dots in there. And it really gives it a lot of depth. And here you go. You know, a really quick, how many sheets of paper? 10, maybe 10 sheets of paper if you're going to do it this giant size or big size. And you can obviously, if you don't have the glitter, do something else. And let me just show you the other one that I did with almost no glitter. I just did my embellies with the glitter. Yeah, so, and here is the one that I did in color, and you see I used like a green in the background, and then the deer. I did do pop dots on this one. Maybe I will do the pop dots. And actually, my deer are facing the other way on this one. So I might use pop dots in the back of those deer. That might look good. So really good. And, you know, definitely would ship well. So if you're looking to make something, you know, to send to somebody, last year I sent cookies out. That was a huge mistake because even though I put them in a box that I made a paper box. I didn't cushion it well enough. So when they arrived, because they were so fresh, they crumbled, and the people that got them were like, they crumbled, but they still taste delicious, you know, and they love the box, too. I can show you the boxes and stuff like that. So super easy, and obviously can change up the look by changing the product and material that you're using. And that I like about working with the Cricut, and I don't feel like I'm boxed in to anything in particular, any particular color. I'm going to put this on the back of my deer. That makes sense. The first time I did it, it makes sense that I do that. All right, so that's it for today. I'm trying to think what's on tap for tomorrow. I think it's another ornament that's a card. Oops, you can't see the face of my deer on there. So I just put the sash a little bit lower on that. So So here you go. I hope that you enjoyed this today, and I hope you'll join me again tomorrow. If you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. And I hope that you would consider subscribing and following me on Facebook. Subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Facebook. I am trying to reach a goal, so you're going to hear me talk about it until I reach that goal. This is really interesting. Last year, I was trying to reach the goal of 2,000 followers on YouTube. And then over the course of the year, I reached that goal last December, and then I've added another almost 8,000. So my new goal is 10,000 for the end of the year. So I hope that you, if you're not subscribed, if you would, that would help me meet that goal, make me so happy. There's no monetary value or anything. It's just like a personal goal. I do that all the time. I just set myself little goals. Anyway, so consider doing that. Remember that we are doing, ornaments on Saturday night. We're going to do 2 different kinds of ornaments, but we're probably going to do them in different nights. The first night is going to be glitter, so we can show you how to put the glitter inside of the ornaments, and then also cut vinyl to put on the front of the ornament. So if you want to follow along, you will need a few ingredients or a few materials, and I will post those. Hi, Lori. And so we're going to do glitter ornaments. I think that's going to be Saturday night. We're going to cut things on the vinyl with our joy. So this is a great joy project that we're going to do. The glitter ornaments. And then the second kind of ornaments we're going to do is the floating ornaments, which are really fun, a lot different than the glitter ornaments, because you're actually putting something inside the ornament instead of putting the glitter on the inside. And so you see through the ornaments. Really beautiful. So I do hope that you'll stick around or catch all the replays and watch these. Thank you so much for coming today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful crafting day, a day of crafting here December 2nd, and we've got only a couple weeks to go, so we're going to just go 100%. All right, everyone, thank you. Have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.